Hi friends, welcome to my very first live video. I have to tell you, this takes some guts for me to try this. I'm used to speaking live, but speaking live on camera like this is a little bit different, and I've thought about doing this for a while. I've been encouraged to try it, but I've been afraid. So today I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take the plunge and try. This is my very first one, and if you are here and you show up, thank you so much for showing up. And I have to say, I'm so grateful for all of you who read my words, who look at my Instagram, if you subscribe to my Instagram or my MailChimp newsletter. I guess we don't call it MailChimp, but my newsletter. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's a lonely thing to write and have your words not be read. And so knowing that you are out there and writing to you is really important to me. So as I start these live videos, I don't know yet how often I'll do it. Please tell me if you like it, if it's something you'd like me to do. And if you have things you'd like me to talk about on my video, please share that with me too, because my purpose is to share the messages that I feel God has given me to give, and meeting the needs that you have for things that you want to learn from me or hear from me about. I'm happy to answer your questions. I also feel that live video gives a little bit more of a genuine sort of, here we really are. Like I'll say on my blog, I wish we could sit down at my table for coffee. Well, this is my table here. And we can't maybe sit down together, but this is pretty close. In this day and age, this is pretty close. So here's my table. If you have coffee, I should have brought my coffee out here, except I've already probably had too much since I wake up really early most of the time. If you have coffee, let's just pretend we're right here at my table together. If you are here and you want to say hi to me, from what I understand, I can see the little comments here. I might have to put my glasses on to actually see them, but if you would say hi, that would be awesome for me because I know you're there. So what I wanted to talk about today, just briefly really, is about birthdays. And my birthday was less than a week ago, and I turned 54. Yes, it is true. And you know, that sounds honestly pretty old. I mean, I remember my parents being in their 50s. I remember just different people, and I thought, wow, that's kind of old. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't feel old. I don't feel old actually at all. I feel strong. I feel good. I have a child still in elementary school, which is a little unusual for people my age. I know not for some of you, because some of you are just like me and you've got big families. But, you know, Wagayu, in case you've always wondered how to pronounce his name, is Wagayu. Wagayu's in 5th grade. And so even though I may be 54, and a lot of my friends are empty nesters, or becoming more and more empty nesters, I'm still sitting on the stands at baseball games, and for young kids, I'm going to parent-teacher conferences. I'm, you know, doing all the things that people, at least a couple decades, sometimes more than that, younger than me are doing. And so Russ and I always say that having young kids at our age keeps us young and a little tired. So I think that's true. But the thing about my birthday is I really debated whether I should mention it. And then I thought to myself, what is it that keeps us from talking about our age? And it's an odd thing in our culture. I think our culture values youth. We all know that. And I think in some sense, we're supposed to be sort of embarrassed or ashamed of our age. But I have a few thoughts on that. First of all, we are all aging every single day. And whether we're about to turn 30, 40, 50, whatever it is, we are aging all the time, and every single person in the world is aging. So I'm not really sure what we're supposed to be ashamed of. I'm not sure what the problem is, and yet I feel it. I feel it because that's the way it is in our culture. So there's the shame piece about age. And so I decided to be kind of brave, and Russ and I took a series of pictures. We had Wagayu take these pictures, which was sort of funny. A lot of them, the whole first set was sort of aimed at our chests, so then we sort of had to redo it and have them shoot them again. But I posted them on Instagram, and I didn't just vaguely say, oh, it's my birthday. I said, this is Russ and me. I think I said, this is us at 54. because Russ, of course, is older than I am. He turned 54 last June. And I went ahead, I thought, I'm just going to be brave and be myself. And I shared those pictures. And the response has been so sweet and good. And it makes me think, okay, it's okay to be honest about our age. We should just do it. So that's the first thing. We are all aging. Secondly, I actually jotted a couple of notes so that I would not forget anything. The other thing is, as I think about aging, I think honestly how profoundly grateful I am to be alive. And I'm going to try really hard not to tear up too much or cry. I don't want to do a big ugly cry on my very first video. I'm sure sometime when we're talking about grief or Chalcedon, I know tears will come, but hopefully not today. So, I've had a couple instances in my life where my life was really in question. I have an autoimmune disorder with my blood, and there was a time when I was very, very ill, and it had become what they call refractory, where no treatment was working. And I'm not saying I was on the verge of dying, but I had virtually no platelets. And platelets are an important part of your blood because they help our blood clot. And without platelets, there was a risk of, a brain bleed or something really tragic could have happened. And I remember going to bed at night and feeling like I needed to tell Russ everything that was important for him to know, just in case I didn't wake up, in case I woke up and could no longer speak. It was a frightening time. And so that was, I actually did end up getting an amazing treatment for that. It was an infusion treatment, and I've been in remission from the worst part of my blood disorder for many years now. There are still issues, but the biggest one, that big crisis is behind me, and I don't generally worry about that. However, most of you know that 3 years ago, Russ and I were in a very terrible and tragic car accident with our daughter, Chalcedon. And, for a long time, it was hard for me to talk about it. It's still hard, but in light of what I'm talking about today about birthdays, it is honestly quite a miracle that I'm alive and that I survived that accident, especially when my daughter did not. I have a lot of thoughts and questions for God about that, about why I lived and she didn't, and how to feel about that emotionally. How can I be happy that I'm alive when she's not? But I do think that that it's a good thing to be thankful, and that God is doing something amazing in my life, and I don't know everything that's going to happen. I don't even know a tiny bit of what's going to happen even later today, but I am thankful to be alive. And I would wager to guess that many of us know somebody who has not lived to be 50, who has not had that privilege, and it is a privilege. Every year that we get to live, there are so many things we get to do and so many people we get to love. And so growing older is something we should honestly be facing with gratitude, that we have the opportunity to live another day, live another year, love the people that we are in our families and our friends. The third thing I think about aging is, in the Bible, it talks about older women being older and wiser. And I remember, it's been a long time now, but I remember when this subtle shift started to happen, where I realized I was no longer one of the young women and one of the young moms, but I was becoming one of the older, wiser moms. And, there's a responsibility that comes with that. Like, I feel that. I feel that weight of responsibility, and that it's important for me to invest in younger women. Maybe not always in my day-to-day here life, but in many of you, with my writing, with my teaching, with my speaking. I want to be wiser. I don't want to just be older. I want to be wiser. I want to have something that I can offer you, something I can share with you that matters, that helps your life, helps you grow in your faith, helps you grow in loving your family. it's a gift. It is a gift to be older and wiser. It's a gift to have been married over 33 years. It's a long time to be married, and to love another person and be faithful. And those are things that I hope that I can share with you and encourage you about. I can see, I'm going to put on my glasses. Truth is, you guys, I cannot see a thing up close without these glasses. And so I'm going to just look at what you said. Thank you, Charity. She says, it's okay to age and it's okay to cry. And Bethany says, I sound just exactly like she would have expected. Well, that's really nice to know. Thank you for all the rest of you who said hello. Yeah, on these live videos, you're going to get me as I really am. You're going to get my house as it is, although I did move some books and things that were stacked here. You can kind of see my kitchen behind us. Anyhow, if you have things you would like me to talk about on this, I would be glad to. I don't know, and tell me how often you want me to do this. It's a brand new idea to me. I'm here. I'm happy to teach you. I'm happy to talk with you. Please, leave comments here. Tell me things that you'd like me to talk about. And thank you so much for showing up for my very first live video. I may have to experiment with moving around my house. I can see these, where is that right there? Really bright spots on my maps behind us. That might be a little bit irritating. Tell me if that's the case. But I will keep working on this, and I hope to see you again. I will be sure to post before I go live and try to figure out maybe a little bit of a schedule. I don't know, or maybe I'm going to love it so much I'm going to do it all the time. We will just wait and see. So thank you. Encourage one another. We have each other, and it's important that we remember that we're all in this together. Mothering, parenting, being married, living our lives as faithfully and as open-hearted as we can. So encourage one another. Thank you. I honestly love you, and I appreciate you being here. All right. Bye.